pressure is a privilege. And that whole thing of like, yeah, I'll wear a 3-piece suit and a tie, that's a mark of respect to the audience. They bought a ticket. Someone in the audience is having a tougher day than you. 2 most important days in your life: the day you're born and the day you find out why.
Yeah.
So all feminism is about the maiden.
Yeah.
And we never talk about the
hag.
The maiden, the mother, and the matriarch.
Yeah.
We don't talk about all three, and all three are incredibly important and potent. And it's that thing. I think we slightly have gaslit every woman in society to say you can have it all.
It's bollocks.
You can have it all, but sequentially, not simultaneously.
Nope.
And it's easier for men to have it kind of simultaneously because here's our secret: we half-arse it. What's a great dad? As a mediocre mum is what you're looking at right there.
Yeah, I love that you just said that out loud. I don't think I've heard a man say that before. Jimmy Carr, how are you?
Rich and famous.
Just stating the facts.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you meant to say. Yeah, I'm great. I'm really good.
Good. Well, I think it's nice to do a genuine check-in. Like, are you feeling happy today?
Yeah. I'm a pretty positive sort of guy.
Yeah.
I sort of think you've got my factory settings are pretty good in terms of like the average day. I'm pretty happy. But it's that thing where I'll work on it, I think.
Yeah.
I sort of think gratitude is the mother of all virtues.
Yeah.
And that thing of like, what can change your disposition? You know, that old kind of thing of like, disposition is more important than position. Like where you are in life doesn't dictate how happy you are. It's your disposition. And the only thing that seems to shift it is constant kind of gratitude of like, I'm such a lucky boy.
Yeah, I'm alive. I'm here. I'm healthy. I'm doing all right.
What are the chances?
What are the chances?
Yeah, that a bunch of random atoms coalesced into a form that can conceive its own consciousness for 4,000 weeks and then disappears again. It seems unlikely, but here we are.
Let's be grateful for that.
Yeah, amazing, right?
It's a good thing. I'll tell you what's making if we're looking at sort of baseline happiness, what's really helping tip me into actual joy is Last One Laughing.
It's good, right? It's a good show. I feel like I can come on here and go, genuinely, it's a good show, watch it, it's really funny.
Which makes life easier.
Yeah, but when you've like got a stand-up special out, you kind of go, oh yeah, you know, I did my best, I hope you liked it, thank you.
Yeah.
And you've got to be a bit kind of self-deprecating. But it's not me. It's like everyone in it is like a killer.
Great.
It's such a fun, simple idea of like, it's also like the antidote for what's going on in the world right now.
Completely. And we need that. We need laughter.
Yeah,
I
think so.
need it.
It's also that thing of like, it's together. It's like a group of people sort of stuck together doing this kind of silly task. But it's really lovely to see people, because stand-up's often, I always love that thing my friend Alan Have used to say, we're out for ourselves, but in it together. And it's that thing of like, we're slightly non-fungible comics. It's like actors. Sometimes when you get an actor, like they're really competitive with other actors because only one of them can be James Bond in the movie. Whereas comics, like Bob Mortimer can't do what Ramesh does, can't do what Alan Carr does, can't do what Diane Morgan does. We're all very kind of escape competition through authenticity.
Yeah. Well, you've introduced me to Sam Campbell too, who is just someone that has given me a dopamine hit every time I've watched it.
He's kind of crazy. He's got a sitcom coming out, I think,
Unhinged,
on Channel 4.
in the best way.
Well, he really is. He's really kind of. It's just amazing, surrealist.
So great.
It feels like he's kind of he fits with Bob Mortimer.
Yes.
And kind of Vic Reeves and also, and Harry Hill, and that kind of school of surreal. Oh, my mind never would have gone there.
Never. Some of the lines he's come out with, I mean, we have been howling. I'm watching it with my kids. I'm not sure if that's appropriate or not, but I'm letting them completely watch it.
I think it is. I think it's really appropriate to watch with kids. I think Cat's Countdown as well is another show that people watch. It's got quite a broad, I mean, some of it's a bit bawdy, but you've sort of got to go, yeah, it's all right. They're going to be looking at that online anyway.
Correct.
But that joyful experience of like watching together as a family.
There's literally 2 shows. They'll watch Celebrity Get Me Out of Here and Last One Laughing. We did series 1. We're loving series 2. And I've heard you say, I can't think which podcast it was, but talking about how comedy is an amazing conversation starter, especially if you go and watch a live stand-up show. And that has definitely been the case each time me and my kids have sat down to watch Last One Laughing.
I've got a theory about this on the what comedy's role is in society. You know that thing of like people talk about politics, the Overton window, very highfalutin term for what's the most left-wing thing you could say in a polite dinner party and what's the most right-wing thing you could say at a polite dinner party. That's the Overton window of conversation. What's acceptable?
Yeah.
And I think comedy, if it does anything, is it expands the conversational over to a window. So if you see a great comic on stage afterwards, like you get your value from buying the ticket and laughing at the show, but then afterwards you go for a drink and you find yourself talking about, I don't know, intimacy in a different way. And it's not, I'm not even saying like edgy comedy pushes it further. It's even like very mainstream comedy that's like observational. Kind of, you're allowed to kind of look at the quirks of life. It kind of gives you permission to go a little bit further in your language.
I agree. I mean, the question that came out of last week's episode from one of my kids was, what's an erection? So that was an interesting conversation starter.
Well, you've got it. It's, the best description I ever heard was an erection, nature's thumbs up. That's like, that's a scoutmaster that's probably in prison now.
I replied with that. That's so good.
What's an erection? It's nature's thumbs up.
It's just so brilliant.
What a great line.
It's a brilliant line.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a good chat, and I'm going to do proper sex ed with them at home because I haven't done it yet. I was sort of relying on the school doing it exclusively, and I actually think I've got to be a proper grown-up.
Right, and have the conversation.
The chat. A couple of my friends have done it with their kids.
Okay, so give me. Let's practice. You don't want to go in. You don't want to go in.
Well, I'm going to use Adam Kay's book. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to wing this one. This is not one to wing. I'm going to laugh, and that's not helpful when I'm delivering this news to my kids.
Yeah.
I know what the reaction will be from my daughter.
Have you got boys or girls?
One of each.
You got one of each?
Yeah.
Well, really, what are they? Teens?
I've got a 10 and a 13.
I don't know. Like, there's really good stuff out there, though.
Adam Kay's book, I think, is an award-winning sex ed. Well, part of one of his books.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
And then Scott Galloway's got a really good new book about on being a man. And Louise Perry's got a brilliant book, The Case Against the Sexual Revolution.
Yes.
I think it's a fantastic. And she wrote a teen version of it.
Oh, okay.
So she wrote the book and it was a hit. And then she did like a teen version. I always think it's that thing of like having that around. I think for everyone to read that.
I agree.
I think like boys should read that too and kind of go, oh yeah, we're very different in our makeup. But it's, I don't know, that thing of like being a teenager is just so tough because if you had to define what being a teenager is, it's being uncomfortable in your own skin.
Yeah.
And it's also, even when you've been through that, I'm a great believer in the fact there's a second big shift that happens mid-20s.
Yeah, I agree. I've heard you talk about this. I completely agree.
It's like 24 for girls, 25 for boys, roughly. I mean,
and some of it's about your brain, actually. It's now fully formed. So you're then going, oh, right, who the heck, what's going on? Who am I?
I found it like an awakening mid-20s of like, okay, what's going on? What do I want to do? And what's success in life? I mean, we're on, happiness is that thing of like going, well, what is happiness?
Yeah.
What am I aiming for here? What's my metric? Because, in life you've got resume points and everything up until like 20, 24, 25, whatever, the end of university, the end of education is like, it's like a video game, right? It's like there's levels and you get to the big boss and you can do well or badly, but it's preordained. And then 25 on, it's self-assignment.
Yeah.
And it's suddenly like terrifying. Like what's important to me?
But it is also not without sort of societal conditions that are, imposed upon us, that we're told if you get married, have kids, get the right car, whatever, then you'll be happy. And you have to sort of negate all of that and work that out, I think. Maybe not even in your 20s. That's probably further down the line, actually.
That's my friend Chris Williamson's really good on this. Like, we're chatting about teachable and unteachable lessons.
Yeah.
There's things you can tell your kids. Like, if you have the birds and the bees conversation, you can tell them what an erection is and
nature's thumbs up.
Nature's thumbs up. And you can talk about sex and you can tell them all the things they can do that are fun. Great, lovely. There's unteachable stuff. There's like, okay, you getting that degree won't make you feel more. If you weren't enough without it, you won't be enough with it.
Yeah.
But no one can tell you buying a Rolex and a Ferrari won't make you happy. You have to buy a Rolex and a Ferrari and go, yeah, it didn't make me, I'm still the same guy.
4 seconds of happiness and then still got all your problems.
Well, here's the terrible thing. Having stuff isn't fun. Getting stuff is fun. It's that kind of, it's not even the journey. It's like, it's not the destination, it's the journey. It's actually who you become on the journey.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But again, I think that's an unteachable lesson. I think that's life. You have to kind of experience that and then you kind of, it's lovely. It's that thing of like, I don't know, with kids, it's like, there's 2 very important days, right? 2 most important days in your life, the day you're born and the day you find out why.
Yeah.
And finding out why is like, it's so difficult to negotiate.
I think I'm only figuring that out now.
Well, this feels much more authentically you, this podcast.
Yeah.
Feels like, okay, This is what matters to you. These are the things that you think
Completely.
about. You've been through the ringer.
Yep.
You kind of, and it's kind of, I don't know, what's the positive of that? It means you can have really
I wouldn't be
interesting
doing any of
conversations.
it if I hadn't felt like dog shit. I wouldn't be doing any of this now. But I think even I've been doing this podcast and the other bits we do with Happy Place for about 8 years.
Yeah.
But I would say only in the last 2 do I feel like I can sit here in the closest possible version to the one that you would see if we went for a coffee at Gale's down the road. Like it's whereas before I don't think I felt that was safe necessarily.
Yeah. Well, it's to that point. You can't have a easy life and a great character.
That's a good point.
You've got to have gone through something. You have to have some experience in life. Otherwise, you've got nothing to.
Yep, exactly.
So yeah.
Hey, I'm very interested talking to you specifically about what we've just touched on in terms of what we think is going to bring us happiness and what we learn eventually actually is meaningful. Because some would say, right, if you know, and this applies to me, to you, to anyone that is ambitious. I'm deeply ambitious. I'm not afraid to say that. I think women sometimes feel it's a sort of uncouth thing to admit, but I'm very ambitious. I've got a hell of a lot of drive behind me to do better, be curious about what the limits are. But I'm not necessarily tying that into my overall happiness. I know I get a kick out of it and I have to maybe even watch that. But with you and your ambition, how much of it is still driven by, or if at all, if I am the biggest comedian in the world or get the biggest laugh tonight on stage, then I'll be okay?
No, I think comparison is the thief of joy. The idea of, if I'm the biggest comedian in the world, what, better than the others? Well, no, I think there's nothing in that.
Or the best you can be? Does that interest you?
Better than me last year, that interests me. Better than someone else, no, not my business. I have kind of that idea of like going, there's a difference between jealousy and envy.
Yeah.
I think jealousy is kind of ugly and it's what you don't want someone to have something. And envy is interesting because it tells you what you want. What you want. You want that thing, or he's playing that room. I'd love to play that room. Okay, well, book it and try and sell some tickets then.
Yeah.
That's that thing of like, it gives you a bit of direction, I think is totally valid. I think, and you don't have to hate where you are to want to get somewhere better.
Yeah.
To want to do more. But
agreed.
That thing of like, ambition is kind of, I suppose the British are a bit uptight about it.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of tall poppy syndrome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, people don't like it. In America, it's
one of my favorite questions. You've got two questions I really like. I know you're doing the interviewing, but here's my 2 questions. What would you do if you couldn't fail?
Yeah, I like that one.
Like, what would you do if you could not fail? It's an absolute sure shot. And it's not like a question to answer, but it's a really interesting thing, for people that are listening with their partner, with their friends, of throwing that out there. What would you do if you couldn't fail? What would you do if you couldn't be punished? Very revealing.
That is revealing.
And it's also a conversation with yourself, because sometimes I think the ambition, like you don't even want to give it a name. You don't even want to sort of say that, actually I want to be an actor, or actually I want to write a script, or actually, whatever that thing is, you're scared to admit it, because then you're opening yourself up to failure.
Yeah.
It's those questions that you can kind of ask, what do you want to do? What are you willing to sacrifice? And that'll tell you how you're going to be.
Yeah. Yeah. I reckon I'm sort of weirdly, I don't know why, but I've always been pretty good at going, I want to do that thing, and I don't even think about the failure bit. And at times I've failed massively, and I've failed publicly. And it's not been fun, but I've managed to ride it out, and I'm pretty good at picking myself back up again. But I think that's because I know I actually love the doing bit so much. There's nothing else I want to do. I love doing this. I like painting a lot. I love painting, but that's not massively sort of a career option for me. But with this, I think the loving it outweighs the risk of failure so massively that I'm almost blinkered.
Yeah, and it's also, I think it's very interesting, that thing of like, what metric in life are you using? What's the thing that you're measuring against? What's important? And that thing of getting resume points or eulogy points. Like, what's the important thing? We spend our lives, collecting stuff to impress people that couldn't care less.
Exactly. It's bonkers.
Yeah.
So what would you say, is there one defining driving force for you? You're one of the comedians that still tours more than anybody else. You are big on getting out there, doing live shows. You've got, is it your last few live shows at the Palladium later on in the year this year?
Yeah, I basically finished the UK now. I'll record the special here. because I like the Palladium. I like that room.
No, it's an amazing, amazing place. But what's driving you to keep going out there, touring? You know, you could never work again and be fine.
Yeah, but I think that thing about going, I really like the work. I really like the idea of putting a show together and writing jokes and going out there. I'm very lucky that every night is different. Because I write shows and I write the jokes and the jokes are the same, but then the audience interaction stuff is different every single night. So, and we film that and we put it out, but it's that for me is the fun bit of it's almost like asking a magician to do real magic. It's like you asking a comedian, just be funny, just off the cuff for half an hour a night with this audience and make it feel like it's special. Make it feel like this could only happen in this room right now. So it's almost like you have an in joke with the audience. Yeah,
I love those bits. I've been loving watching them on your Instagram feed. And I think that has been such a huge evolution for your comedy. And I've heard you talk about this before, that you knew you'd wanted to sort of change your style slightly or change how you go about using comedy in your work. But that audience interaction bit, I think, is the purest example. There was very much on my algorithm a clip that kept getting fed to me of you being asked what you think about menopause. And I was like, oh, what's Jimmy going to say here? And you did this amazing feminist rant about how older women are the cornerstone of society, and you were passionate about it. And I thought, I don't think you would have said that 10 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's something about, I mean, it's very nice of you to say. But I think a lot of that is just going, I feel very comfortable in my skin. I feel very kind of confident on stage now. And so it allows you to kind of give a beat and to give an honest answer to something. But that thing about going, well, feminism, I think, only solves for the maiden. So all feminism is about the maiden.
Yeah.
And we never talk about the
hag.
The maiden, the mother, and the matriarch.
Yeah.
We don't talk about all three, and all three are incredibly important and potent. And it's that thing. I think we slightly have gaslit every woman in society to say you can have it all.
It's bollocks.
You can have it all, but sequentially, not simultaneously.
Nope.
And it's easier for men to have it kind of simultaneously because here's our secret, we half-arse it. What's a great dad? As a mediocre mum is what you're looking at right there.
Yeah, I love that you just said that out loud. I don't think I've heard a man say that before.
But it's true, right?
Yes.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's fine to don't deny.
No, but I've heard women say it, but not men.
Yeah. Well.
Because even the term hands-on dad is ludicrous. A mum isn't a hands-on mum. They're a mum.
That's my favourite thing in the world is when guys talk about I'm babysitting my kids.
Yeah. Oh.
What? Sorry? You're babysitting? What are you getting? £10 an hour? What? They're your kids.
Your children.
You can't babysit your kids.
No, it's absurd.
Yeah.
How is parenting?
I really like it. I really like that thing of it's for me it's the missing part. It's another totally unteachable lesson.
Yeah.
People telling me have kids, you'll love it. Like, I thought I was living my life I thought I'd found like a cheat code for living life on easy mode, right? Because it's easy. It's like, you think you've got skin in the game. You've got no skin in the game. I was at a low stakes table without kids.
And you didn't want them at this point?
I didn't want them. I had no interest. I was like, absolutely fine. I mean, I was, I like my friends' kids and babies and stuff were great. But I didn't have that desire to have children. And then you have them and go, all right, this is everything. This is beautiful. And for me, it's sort of spiritual in a sense. I don't have religion. I don't have God. But I sort of think, I had lunch with a friend. I've got a friend called Eric Weinstein, he's a brilliant man. He's a physicist. And I was chatting about how much I'm loving being a dad. And he went, oh yeah, you will, just off the cuff, he just went, you will die and you will be reborn as someone else and you will love them. I was like, oh, that's reincarnation. That's it. But there's a crossover period of 30 or 40 years where you get to love them and then you go and they stay.
Yeah.
I just find it's such a beautiful thing. And it's so fun to no longer be, especially, in show business, everything's about the individual and your career and what you're doing and your trajectory. And then suddenly you've got kids and you go, well, I'm as happy as my least happy kid.
It is the most amazing thing. It's also fucking hard. What has surprised you in terms of how much it pushes your own limits? Because it does for every parent. It pushes you to the rawest version of yourself at times. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and go, oh my God, what's been the bit for you that you maybe weren't expecting?
I don't know. I was late to it. So I guess I was like, there wasn't so much of that in terms of going, I didn't feel like it was an imposition in any way. I loved it. I mean, I don't really have like a negative thing in terms of going the sleep deprivation or the changing the nappies or anything. Yeah, all good. Well, you have to love the whole thing, I think.
You do, yeah. You got to try at least.
Yeah, but it's all. I think it's slightly about embracing the chaos.
Yeah, I'm not good at that.
Well, there's a weird thing where the idea of kind of perfection and getting to the end of our to-do list. Who's that writer? The guy that did 4,000 Weeks. Oliver Berkman, I think it is.
I don't know.
That talks about like getting to the end of your to-do list. It's never happening.
No.
You're never getting there.
Never.
And really it's quite a recent idea in human history. Like the Christians had the idea of heaven, which they nicked off the Zarathustrans. The idea of like perfection.
Yeah.
It's so like, we can't even see it, but it's everywhere in our society, the idea of getting everything right and neatly packaged and done. And then you have kids and you just sort of have to embrace the chaos.
Yeah.
It's chaos.
You seem to me as a person, from how I see you more as a viewer, that you do actually reach for your own singular perfection as much as you can. You know, you hone your craft, the way you dress, you're put together, the way, well, just listening to you on Catherine's podcast recently, you really look after yourself. You want to reach your sort of full optimization as a human, if possible. So that sits okay alongside that.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I think you do, listen, you can't, I do the best with what I've got. I think that thing of like, I've been very lucky, but it would be so ungracious not to put the work in as well.
Yeah.
Because those are the great myths in our culture. The myth of genius is like this huge myth of, oh, he's just a genius. He's a comedy genius. He's a musical genius. He's a mathematic genius. What? Okay. And then there's the, oh, he worked so hard. Oh, God, that guy did 18-hour days every day for 30 years. And he works all the hours. He works hard. And he's the first to arrive and the last to leave. Horseshit. Both of them, absolute horseshit. It's always both.
Yeah.
Like talent without hard work is nothing. It's a coulda, woulda, shoulda. Like if you have to put the hours in. It's knowing what the work is as well.
Yeah.
Some people don't quite know what the work is.
And so how do you feel about, is there such a thing as being a workaholic, do you think?
I don't think so, but I think it's like, I think we've siloed things in our culture in a very unhealthy way. Even if you think about like school, like there's different subjects are taught in different rooms, and at universities, that's the science block and that's the history block and that's the social sciences and that's medicine over there, and it's got nothing to do with nutrition. And it's like we've siloed things. It's all we live in a very left brain world. And I think life is right brain.
Yeah.
Life, it's about the gestalt, the whole, seeing the whole of your life. So work-life balance, it's like, well, yeah, but there are seasons. Sometimes you're on tour and you're working all the hours, and sometimes you're at home on holiday, and it all evens out in the end. But I think the idea of like trying to find a balance like on a yearly basis maybe, but like on a weekly, daily.
No, I know. I agree, because I think sometimes the whole workaholic thing gets batted about a lot. And sometimes I feel slightly frustrated because it's seen as this huge negative, which for some it can be. But I love work. Even when I go home and I'm with my kids, I know part of my brain is still trying to conjure up an idea or work out a solution to an issue I'm having with a book I'm writing or whatever. And I love it. It makes me feel fucking brilliant. So why would I not want to be
Well, it's also
creating?
that thing of like the workaholic thing. Are we talking about people that just want to stack cash? Because it's that thing of like,
I don't think it's ever been defined as one thing. It's just kind of tossed about negatively.
Well, there's two different things though, aren't there? Because there's safety and scarcity.
Yeah.
Like as just driving human emotions.
Yeah.
And safety is about, right, a roof over your head, enough calories to feed everyone, we're warm, we're safe. And then there's scarcity, which is, okay, winter is coming, we need more provisions. And some people have something missing, I think, in the reason they'll be a trillionaire in our lifetime is because 100 billion is not enough.
Yeah.
It'll never be enough because the scarcity thing, you can never get over that. So it's the old story of, I'm sure you know this, the Vonnegut and Joseph Heller. Do you know
this
the story?
is the enough story. Yeah. This is so cool.
But that thing about going, he goes to some crazy party at the Hamptons and the guy's got Picassos on the wall and supermodels everywhere. And Joseph Heller goes, I've got something he'll never have. Enough. It's so lovely.
Yeah. And that's the opposite of what's projected when we look around on social media or on certain TV shows. It's like, go for more. More is going to make you feel better. And it's like, no, I think knowing what enough is for you creates peace, makes you feel peaceful rather than that, like, oh my God, look what they've got and I haven't got it. Or like just feeling that lack constantly, which is not good for anyone.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it's easy for us, I suppose. You know, we're in show business. We've both done great. You know, it's that thing of like going, if you're listening and you're kind of on that journey, it's like, it's kind of easy for them to say, but you go, well, what's the deciding what your metric is in life is really interesting.
But equally, you know, I didn't grow up with any money. I don't think you did. I'm from a working class family. I can look back at my childhood, my teens, or when I had my first teeny flat, and I was no less happy than I am now. At times I was probably a lot happier, actually, because that was enough. That's all I knew. That's all I knew at the time. So I think I'll still strive in the way I am, but I'm not doing it because I need to buy any more shit. I don't need anything else. I don't need another pair of shoes. I just need to pay my bills.
Well, that thing of like, I mean, it's very Buddhist, but not wanting something is as good as having it. I love that idea. I love that idea of like the superpower is not having to impress other people.
Yeah.
That's a superpower. That's like sometimes you meet people and they've got no interest in impressing anyone else.
I love that. I'm not there yet either.
No, but well, who is? I mean, that really is something incredible when they're just doing their own thing and fine.
We had this very interesting guest on the podcast a while back who's sadly passed away since, ex-Buddhist monk. He was Swedish and he left his monastic life after about 20 years or something of being a fully active monk. And he was called Bjorn Nathiko Lindeblad. Amazing person. Wrote a beautiful book called I May Be Wrong. And I think about it constantly. And it slightly relates to what we were talking about in terms of if he was told something, you know, an idea was projected upon him, or if he was in conflict with somebody, that would be the constant mantra in the back of his head. I may be wrong. I may be wrong. Just as a leveler. Do you land on that? Are you good at admitting you're wrong, or do you have the sort of broad-mindedness to at times go, yeah, I may be wrong on that, which I think you kind of have to do for comedy?
Well, comedy is kind of about perspectives, sort of seeing things from different angles. So a lot of work is about that, about sort of and trying to take a heterodox opinion, not just for the sake of it, but just to sort of see around something.
Yeah.
And so instead of just going, well, I know what you're meant to say, but what's the thing that you can't say? It's kind of interesting for me. I mean, I like that idea of going, I might be wrong. I think like, you know, talk like you're correct and listen like you're wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
yes.
That seems reasonable.
It does. And the world would probably be a much more peaceful place if many powerful men could go anywhere near that sort of thinking.
Well, we're in a really interesting phase of the world now. I think, I don't know how you view it. I think it's pretty bad.
It's pretty shit.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. Shit, guys.
I read quite a lot of. I read this guy Neil Howe.
Okay.
He wrote this book called The Fourth Turning. He's a demographer, so he came up with the term millennial. That's his kind of one of his claims to fame.
Okay.
But he wrote this book back in like 1996, which was like, it was a hit at the time, like in academic literature. It was like, did well, and it basically predicted this. So he basically said history works in 80 to 100-year cycles.
Oh, right, yeah.
And so 1929, people might vaguely know there was a Wall Street crash and there was a Dust Bowl in America and there was Spanish flu that killed lots of people. And now we have environmental crisis and COVID, and 2008 was the financial crash. And we're in that phase now. It's called the fourth turning. Like everything is changing. It's a revolution. All of these big institutions are falling.
Wow.
And they're being replaced and they'll be rebuilt. And
so it's just spotting these patterns, isn't it?
And there's cycles in history. So, you know, history doesn't repeat, but humans are the same. They're making the same mistakes that we will
continue to.
Yeah.
one thing that is sort of prominent in culture at the moment is, of course, cancel culture, which you've done a fair bit of talking around, which I really appreciate. Because I think sort of rather than ignoring it or just going, it's a thing happening, talking about it is important. And I guess most people would say that your style is edgy. I don't know if you agree with that. I guess that is part of being a comedian. But I wonder if that is inherently part of your personality, is to reach as far as you can to like touch the sides and see where they are. Does that feel like something you need to do?
Well, like the world ordered an edgy comedian, and I'm going to honor that. That's what I do for a living. That's my day job. And at this point of my career, I sound like I've been around a while.
Yeah.
Got a fairly decent online presence. I'm on TV a lot. If someone comes to one of my shows and they're offended, that's their fault. That's like buying tickets to a horror movie and complaining you were scared.
Yeah.
I went to see AC/DC. It's a bit too loud. I want my money back. Fuck are you talking about? That's mental. I think your sense of humor is very much like your taste in food, or your sexual mores. You know, some people like it spicy. Yeah. Some people like the kinky stuff. Some people like missionary and vanilla. Fine. Some people like edgy comedy. Some people like super mild stuff. Great. I'm not for everyone. I mean, I like to think some of the TV stuff that I do, things like Last One Laughing or Cat's Countdown, the TV stuff, you are a guest in someone's home when you're on television. But if it's a live gig and they've literally bought in to see the show, I'm like, well, great, we can talk about anything and we can push this further. And the audience will tell me what is and what isn't acceptable and what is and what isn't funny. Yeah. You know, if they don't laugh at something, I'm not going to say it twice.
No. But when it moves into perhaps public shaming, and I feel like I've been through the mill with that to some extent in earlier periods of my career, it can be excruciating. And you've said before that that's caused panic attacks for you having insomnia for brief periods.
Yeah, but I think I try and see it in the round, right? So I suffer a little bit with anxiety, but also the only reason I've ever written a joke is because of that ever worrying mind. So there's always a positive. And I think calling it anxiety, I think the idea that in our society everything is pathologized. So you call it anxiety, but it's worry. Yeah. You call it depression, but it's sadness. And I think changing the words you use sometimes just make it feel much more manageable. And I can deal with that. Yeah, I'm worried about that thing. It's all right. And once you've been through it a couple of times, it's okay. I think being cancelled is an interesting experience because it's a filter on your audience and on your friends. It's sometimes it's very surprising.
The friends one is much harder to swallow.
Yeah, but also the great thing is the surprises.
You know. Right.
The
and
great
you have
one
been
is
surprised?
Yeah. People that call on the day, the people that call the next day, the people that just check in, you're right, they've been through it. It's a nice thing. I always think that thing of like, that's the advice to anyone is like, if someone's going through something, especially something really awkward and weird, call and go, I don't know what to say. Yeah. Don't say nothing.
Don't say nothing, because that's only going to accentuate the shame and the torture for the person going through it. Imagining, oh God, everyone does think I'm terrible. The one thing you have to be sure of when you're being shamed, if you're not in the public eye, or publicly shamed, if you want to navigate it, is you've got to be sure of yourself. You've got to not turn the gun on yourself. You can't go, oh yeah, I am a piece of shit. I should be cancelled. I am awful.
Well, there's character and reputation. So reputation is what everyone else thinks about you, and character is what you know about yourself. Yeah. You've got to be pretty solid on that. The only question you have to, like, if you get cancelled again, you just got to ask one question. Who are you? And if you get cancelled over something authentic that you did or you said or that you meant or that you were joking, it's fine.
Yeah, you stand by it.
Get like a Coca-Cola or something.
You can get Coca-Cola. Yeah.
Like very parched.
We can get Coca-Cola, of course.
I bet there's people out there doing this.
There's happy place people running around at all times. Yeah, I like that because I think obviously people listening to this might not have that fear of being cancelled, but they will definitely have the fear of being rejected by the people. And I think the same applies. If you're sure of who you are, and you're sure of your character and your values, that's the way to navigate it. That's the way to get through it. Is that what's helped you?
Yeah, I think if you have like a fairly good view of, a solid basis that you've got to take care of yourself. I mean, it's also that thing of, I often worry with there is kind of a mental health crisis going on. There's a crisis with young men. and you got how much of is a software problem and how much is a hardware problem. So if you think about, like, if you have a friend that is depressed, feeling down, whatever's going on, how much sleep are they getting?
Yeah.
How much exercise are they taking? What's their nutrition like? Are they drinking and drugging? And 90% of the time you go, I can see what this problem might be. You're not sleeping. You're not taking care of yourself. You're manically scrolling and not allowing yourself time to relax. You've got there's nothing in your life where you're in a flow state. There's so many things that you could deal with that are physical before you get to the mental.
Yeah. So that's a software setting. Are we calling that one? Or
I would
hardware?
I'd say the hardware is your body, your sleep, your nutrition, your exercise, taking care of yourself.
And then software is what? Your social interactions, your mind. Okay.
Your mind. So if you're feeling depressed and anxious, because I think anxiety is not, we sort of think anxiety is about something, but it tends to be just, you could be anxious about, like, if you're not anxious about anything particular in your life, then you're reading the news and trying to be anxious about the end of the world or whatever.
It's anticipatory a lot of the time.
Yes. Anxiety is about the future and depression's about the past.
Yep. I mean, I've done both. Neither are fun.
Christ.
Here's a Coca-Cola. That was so quick, Basil.
Thanks.
Your mum had poor mental health, which wasn't necessarily recognised back then.
No, I mean, I think that weird thing of, like, no one was in therapy in the 80s.
No.
Like, it was like, the therapy in the 80s consisted of someone in the high street going, cheer up, darling.
Yeah, put a smile on your face.
Yeah. Come on, love, smile. You've got a pretty face.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I feel angry thinking about it.
But that was kind of it.
it.
Or the, if you were kind of mopey or down or whatever, so, we'll have a couple of drinks. Literally the worst thing for it.
Yeah.
Like, no one was in that. And it's become slightly more acceptable to have therapy and also to figure out what works for you. I think the first thing a therapist should say, when you sit down, you go and see a therapist or you talk to someone online, whatever's going on, they should say, oh, by the way, I do this type of therapy and there's 20 other kinds.
Yeah.
And this might not work for you, but don't write it off. Because for some people, like, Freudian analysis is like the last thing they want to do. They want to do cognitive behavioral therapy or something that's a bit more like, short, sharp. I just want to fix this problem and move on. Great.
Yeah, try them all.
I
mean, if you can. I've been lucky enough that I've tried all sorts and I've definitely landed on a style that suits me. But back for, my mum's, I'm not saying anything she hasn't said. She's been on the podcast, so she's talked about her own mental health, which has been sort of sketchy over the years. And still now she sees therapy as something that you only go to if it's like mega SOS. It's not something like for our generation where we think, I would like to do a course of it, or maybe it's a weekly thing if you can make that happen. It just wasn't the done thing. And my mum's mum was actually in a day psych ward for quite a lot of my mum's childhood because she was really mentally not very well at all. But that was a much more sort of severe, and I'm not even sure how helpful that was, but a sort of severe exit strategy for my nan to sort of feel better. Growing up, were you aware that your mum wasn't feeling great or that there was something lurking?
I think this is the thing with most comedians. Like, if you have to ask them one question, which of your parents was sick? I think you become a very good kind of thermostat on a room. You're very good at walking in a room and going, something feels off.
Yeah.
I could cheer this up. I can make this all right. I was kind of aware, but not that aware. And I don't feel too guilty about it, but I feel like someone should have done something. Like that thing of going, we were an Irish family that came over to Britain in the 1970s. And so I think lacking the support network sometimes is that thing. I just think it's not, it's not healthy. It's people need connections. We sort of think we're individuals, but actually we have dispersed identities, and it's our relationship with our families and our friends and our colleagues, and we exist in all of those places. We exist between those places. Yeah. So I think she was a little bit isolated.
And so do you see your comedy as being a bit of a reaction to that then? Like you just said, most comedians may have a parent that has been through something and you would try to remedy it.
Yeah, I think it is kind of slightly pathological, needing that much love from strangers and wanting people to laugh, wanting people to be happy. Yeah.
I mean, do you still now, after all these years, when you go out on stage and you get a good reaction, you're still getting the same hit, the same buzz? It doesn't dilute?
No, I don't think it does. I think because there's a sense in which you're kind of getting better at it as you go along. So it feels like it's there's a term for it, like telic and anti-telic tasks.
I've not heard that.
Okay, so it's tasks with an ending. That's a definite ending, right? We're going to do a play and it's going to last 6 weeks and then we're done. And those can be quite depressing because at the end of the project, at the end of the summer camp, whatever the thing was that you did, and it's got an end date and you completed it, great. And then it's like, oh, we've done that now.
Yeah.
And then you've got to find something else to do. And then there's antitelic tasks that have no end. So like being a parent, being a comedian, like things you can just constantly get better at, and you do them for their own sake.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's very much like I've been interviewing people since I was about 15, and I still feel like I'm, 20% up the ladder. I've got so many more hours in me that I want to put the practice in, see where I can take it, how much better I can get. But there is, I guess, the real-time benefits that you can see of doing something over decades is how relaxed you feel and how much you enjoy it in the moment. Like I remember presenting TV shows back in my teens or early 20s where I'd be thinking, just get to the end. I just want this to be over. And then the relief was the result that I enjoyed. Like, oh, thank fuck, that's done. I've done it. The relief was so huge that it would allow me to say yes to another job that I was slightly dreading doing. Whereas now, I don't have any dread and I'm not going, oh, can this just end so I can get to the relief bit? I'm in real time enjoying what I'm doing. I think that's the gift of doing something a lot.
Yeah, I think that thing about looking for that flow state, looking for that thing that feels like this is really fun.
Yeah. We're very lucky that we get to do that.
Yeah, incredibly lucky.
So lucky. I mean, thinking about doing comedy for the rest of your days, does that feel like something that excites you?
Yeah. No, I really love it. I mean, I love it and it's having a bit of a moment, I think, culturally, because it feels very authentic in a world that doesn't feel very authentic. And there's kind of there's no cheat. There's no way to get it done faster. It's like, it's not like you're not seeing, it's not, oh, there's a new, 17-year-old that's blowing up. It's like, no, everyone's got to put the work in the clubs and build their career and learn how to write jokes. And it feels like it's something that you get better with over time.
Yeah. And also you have to build up resilience, because I think, we've had a fair few comedians on here, and that is a theme that comes up a lot, is that when you do that first run of gigs for the first however many years, you experience absolute shit shows, which are awful, where no one laughs, there's silence, and you've got to be able to pick yourself back up afterwards. You have to. Yeah,
but I think, failure is that it's how you view it. It's that feedback loop. As long as you're not making the same mistake repeatedly. Great.
Yeah. I mean, do you, even if you look back to those early days, but speaking more sort of recently, are you okay with negative feedback? You can take it on board and water for ducks back?
Well, I get heckled a lot.
Do you? Well, negatively?
I actively encourage it. I mean, I like people to join in. I sort of think that thing about the illusion when you go and see a gig is that you're the only one in the room performing because you're on stage and you have a mic. But everyone's performing. The place I saw it most was the place I really recognised. I went to see Taylor Swift in Wembley, right? And I was sat, and it was a great gig, and very much enjoyed it. But like, she was great. But then watching the audience was magnificent. Yeah. Because it was like girls and mums like singing at each other and doing the hand movements and like embodying this, and it was their thing. And I saw the Oasis gig had exactly the same thing with a bunch of dudes doing the same sing along. It was best friends, and it really felt performative. And laughter is a very performative thing. Yeah. Laughing at something is like, you don't really laugh when you're scrolling through funny stuff on your phone. No. You think that is funny and you smile and you might chuckle, but the real belly laugh is you've got to be in the room. Yeah, you do. Or with friends. It's why I think people love Christmas TV so much. Yeah, because you're with other humans. Yeah. You're with everyone else watching it together. Great. This is like, it really feels like, and you're kind of, the laughter's kind of subconsciously showing other people you get the joke. I love that. You are obviously, as you've sort of alluded to, a half glass full person, or your happy sort of foundations are pretty solid and you feel good most of the time. But are there days where you turn up to a gig venue in, I don't know, some random city in America that you've never been to, and you just think, I'm not in the mood, I don't have it in me, I just want to be alone in a room, I don't want to have to deal with that? It's a huge interaction. It's a huge dynamic between you and an audience. No, I would be No. I mean, it's
Never.
like, no, it's like, pressure is a privilege. And that whole thing of like, yeah, I'll wear a 3-piece suit and a tie. That's a mark of respect to the audience. They bought a ticket. Someone in the audience is having a tougher day than you.
Yeah.
And they bought tickets. And I think you buy tickets to a show and you think, okay, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And then you go out there and it's not my business to bring my shit onto the stage. It's, I'm there, I'm of service. Yeah. I'm in the service industry and I make something that people want. I make them happy. And you have a job to do, you go out there and you do it.
Yeah.
Being of service is like, it's underrated but we've all got to serve ourselves.
Yeah. Well, you can't pull from an empty cup. You got to be topped up yourself. What are the non-negotiables that keep you in that state where you can go out on stage and give that huge audience your absolute all?
I sauna cold plunge every day. That's
I heard this. So my brother's
me,
big on this, and he texted me immediately and went, Jimmy Carr does it every day. There you go. Boom.
Yeah.
That's your thing.
Well, I'm not great with meditation.
No,
so
I'm
for
not.
me, it's like a physical manifestation of being in a meditative state because you're very hot, very cold. You're really looking forward to something constantly. So you're in a very, very hot environment and then you're very looking forward to being in the cold and then in the cold, very much looking forward to being in the hot. It's kind of like life. It's perfect life.
Yeah.
Not only doing something fun, but looking forward to something.
Yeah.
You got something in the diary.
Yeah. I love that. I'm not very good at meditating. I think people assume that I meditate every day. I haven't meditated for years, but I do meditate when I'm painting. I think of very little. My brain is so streamlined. I'm so in it. And, 2 hours could pass and it feels like 2 minutes. And I'm
that kind of flow state.
Out.
No, that's lovely.
I'm like, oh my God, I've got to go and pick up the kids from school. And I literally feel like I've just started and won't remember to drink or go for a wee. I'm so in it. I love it. But I think there's very few things that bring me that. Is that what you have on stage?
Someone had great careers advice. I can't remember who it was. She's like her career advice was pay attention to what you pay attention to. Like, because people talk about, kids these days, they've got no attention span. It's all TikTok videos and they're all 12 seconds long. But they've got great attention for good stuff.
Yeah.
They'll listen to a 4-hour podcast or they'll watch 60 hours of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
If it's good, they'll play video games for 12 hours.
Yep.
If it's engaging, they're in it. If it's nonsense,
they scroll on. Yeah, you're very right. Is that what you're looking for on stage, or you are in that flow state? You're so focused.
I feel quite sort of flow state on stage in terms of the performance and the way that, people think about jokes. Okay, so that you've got the jokes and then you've got your kind of facial expression, what you're doing. There's a lot with, I would call it your footwork, like what you're doing. You're sort of directing an audience and trying to get a reaction. So I'll be trying to hit certain sort of beats per minute and trying to get them into a state where it's just they're having the best night.
Yeah, it's that rolling laughter.
And it's also like every gig I've ever done is an advert for when I'm back.
Yeah.
There's no farewell tour. It's like, you had a great time. I want you to book a ticket next time.
Yeah.
I want you to come back and see this again. And then it's that, I don't know. I mean, so I suppose that thing of like, I'm getting in that state's quite easy. Because you sort of, I know what has to be, the first 20 minutes, you go out and just, it's a fastball.
Yeah. There's a science behind it.
Yeah. I think there's too much magical thinking in my industry. I think it's, so I'm working on a thing at the moment, actually, with my friend Amanda Baker and Abby Grant. We're working on a book about how to write jokes and perform comedy. And that sort of sense of try and give something back. Try and sort of do something that's like, because it is a bit, it's he's just a comedy genius. You go, no, there's ways of codifying this.
Yeah. If
we can write music, we can write comedy.
Yeah, there's code behind everything, and practice, like you say. It's not like you just you came out the womb funny. You've got funny bones, but you've got to work at it. You have to. You've got to put the hours in. With that, pushing things to the edges and looking for, which I'm sure every time you tour, you're like, what outrageous thing would get a laugh, or where can I take this? I think the thing that stops people even saying things in front of their mates that they think might get an outraged reaction is this inherent fear of authority that we have, whether it was one particular parent who would say, have a go at you, or a teacher that scared the absolute shit out of you, do you just not have that? You don't have that fear?
No, I think it's about friendship. I think it's about saying, okay, so who's your best friend in the world? I could tell you who your best friend is. It's the person you've got the least filter with.
Yeah.
Right. So if you have no filter with someone, like if you sit next to someone on a plane or a train, oh, the weather, yes, beautiful day, lovely. Sports, yeah, that local team did great. Like it's a very surface level conversation. If it's your best friend in the world and you're going, oh my God, you have to see these hemorrhoids. I took a picture, check it out. Like that's a different level. Like, but that thing of going, it's a conversation where you go, there's no filter. I'll trust that you're my friend. This is, I always think, intent is so much more important than content. And the audience get what the intent is.
Yeah.
And the times you get cancelled are where the content escapes the lab and people that would never be at my show get it in the morning
printed.
paper.
Yeah, there's no tone behind it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, fine. I'll live with that. Occupational hazard.
We are creating a Happy Place playlist at the moment.
Ooh.
So each guest we ask, if you would like to put one song on it, what would that song be?
A Happy Place playlist. Okay, so what's the theme? Is it joyful songs or?
Yeah, the themes are loose because people have picked all different things. Songs that just make them feel very safe and comfortable, and some have picked huge bangers that make them want to get up and dance. It could quite literally be anything.
I'm trying to think of what I would choose. Probably Paul Simon's "Obvious Child."
Nice.
I remember dancing to it with my mother. And it's kind of it's been around. It's been like, and I really like that. I like everything about it. I like the lyrics. I like the feel of it and the drums. That's kind of South American kind of feel. It's beautiful.
And nice memories attached to it.
Yeah, I think that thing about going, well, music's great for that. It's
so evocative.
It's extraordinary, that kind of non-verbal communication. The idea that you can play a minor key and people go, oh, sad, but you can go anywhere in the world that means that.
I know, it's the best. On my Radio 2 show, there are certain songs that are, obviously I don't playlist the show, but I'll put whatever song it is on. And there are however many songs, 40 songs, where I get this visceral reaction to the song because my body knows it's on Now 23. And I'm always fucking right.
Right.
And I tell my producer, Google it, is that on Now 23? And she goes, yep. I had this weird, because it was my favourite Now CD.
Right.
And I remember it so vividly. It's
what age were you,
in
like
my
17?
body. No, it was in 1991, so I would have been 10.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's early. Because I always think like people's favourite album tends to be 17, 18. Like their favourite record. So for me, it would be like I guess the Stone Roses, that thing of like going, because music kind of meant more then, like just when you're young, when you're taking it all in for the first time, it's like, it's incredible. This is
Now 23 at 10 years old.
Yeah.
I have honestly a physical reaction when I hear these songs. I'm like, today it was Tasman Archer. And I was like, Now 23. And I was right.
Wow. Yeah,
it's a pointless skill.
I like that though. I like that thing of I've tried to turn it on its head recently, in terms of going, because it's about what different things do for you. Like we tend to like new movies.
Yeah.
New movies and old music. And so I like to try and turn it on its head. I try and watch old movies and listen to new music, because it's like where you're trying to get your dopamine.
Get your hit.
Yeah, where are you getting that from?
What new music are you liking that you've heard recently?
I've got like, I'm very indie rock and roll. So if that's my sort of go-to.
Jam. Geese, listening to them?
I think they're on the playlist, yeah. But the problem with it now is it's not like it was when I was a kid.
No,
where you would get it would be a physical thing and you would read the notes.
Yeah, I love that.
And now it's weirdly, it's like a scented candle. So you can put on an amazing playlist and you can put the likes, but you can't, I don't know what's the name of the band and what's the song.
Yeah.
But something new is really, that's always exciting with music.
It's always exciting. It's the best. And to finish, where is your happy place, Jimmy Carr?
Is this like, do we want a physical place, or can it be?
It could be either. Some people go for something fantastical, metaphorical, some actual place. It could be anything.
I should have given this some thought before the show.
It's quite nice, I think, off the top of your head. I mean, mine changes every day. It could be by the sea, or it could be painting. It could be anything.
Yeah. I think home, and I don't mean that in a physical sense of the house. I think the family. I think that thing about going, home isn't a place, it tends to be a person. And if you've got that thing where you go, you feel like, all right, I'm home now. And that can be anywhere. You could be on the road, you could be traveling, you could be on holiday, but you feel like, okay, if we're all together, it's pretty great.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling.
It's pretty good.
Well, Jimmy Carr, thank you so much for being on here. I cannot wait for tonight's Last One Laughing. That's what I'm doing tonight. I'm living for it. It is my absolute dopamine hit of the day. I fucking love it.
It is fun.
And I want to come and see one of your Palladium shows. So I'm booking. I'm going to get tickets for that. I'm coming.
Come, I know a guy. I could hook you up.
I would never want to assume that I'm getting a freebie. I'm happy to fund your lifestyle, Jimmy Carr.
Sure. This come on, show business. Show business.
Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.